Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. These are your bell ringer problems for Tuesday, May 3rd. We have problems number 5 through 8 to do today, so let's go ahead and get started here. Problem number 5 wants us to take a look at 625 thousandths and 75 hundredths. This one is pretty easy. It doesn't matter how many digits we have. All we have to look at is our 0, 0, decimal point, and then 6 and 7. 7 is bigger than 6, so that means 75 hundredths is greater than 625 thousandths. Keep in mind that if we were to put a 0 on to give them the same amount of digits, 750 thousandths is obviously bigger than 625 thousandths. All right. Problem number 6, we need to take a look at 6/8 divided by 2/8. Well, when you're dividing fractions, all you do is you keep the first fraction the same, 6/8. We change our division symbol to a multiplication symbol, and then we go ahead and flip our second fraction. So that becomes 8 halves. Now we do 6 times 8, we get 48. And then we do 8 times 2, and we get 16. And then I have to think about how many times 16 can go into 48. Well, I know that 16 goes into, I know I have 16, 32, and I know that 16 can actually go into 48 3 times, so that's going to give me 3 holes. 16 goes into 48 3 times. That's going to give me 3 holes. All right, for problem number 7, they want you to take a look at, they want to see how many centimeters are in 12 meters. Well, I know in 1 meter I have 100 centimeters. And if there's 100 centimeters in 1 meter, I can just do 100 times 12. Great thing about this is I can use that trick where I just go ahead and write down 12 and then I pop on the 2 zeros in the end to see that in 12 meters there's actually 1,200 centimeters. Alright, and then the area of a parallelogram. Well, a parallelogram is just basically a square or a rectangle that's been shifted over to the side. So when we do a square or rectangle, we do length times height. We cannot use this as our length times width. We cannot use our width, so basically we just do base times height when we are finding the area of a parallelogram. We use the bottom, which is the base, and then we use our height here as well. And we do base times height to get the area of a parallelogram. Alright, and then we have problems number 3 and 4 today to do. Problem number 3, students counted all of the pencils in Lantern School. There were 914 pencils. Then the students placed the pencils in boxes that held 24 pencils. How many boxes did they fill completely? That's our question. How many boxes did they fill completely? And completely is actually a key word here, okay? And so basically we have to do 914 divided by 24. Divided by 24 to see how many boxes that they fill completely. This is one of those situations where I can take off these numbers and I can take off this, and I know that 4 times 2 is going to get me close to 4 times 2 is going to get me close to 9, and so that I can do 4 times 4 here is going to get me 16. Carry my 1. 8, 9, that's going to give me 96. So that's going to be too big. I was close, but that's actually going to be too big, so I'm going to go ahead and put 3 times 24 here. And I know that 3 times 4 is 12, so I put my 2 down, carry my 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. I get 72 there. I'm going to go ahead and subtract, change that into an 8. 11, 10, 9. 8 minus 7 is 1. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring down my 4. And then so now I have to think about what times 24 gets me close to 194. Well, I know that 9 times 2 is going to give me 18. That could get me kind of close, but I think it's going to be too big if I work it out here, because I know that 9 times 4 is 36. So that's actually going to be too big. 8 times 4 is going to get me 32. Put my 2 down, carry my 3. 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, that's actually going to work. So I'll go ahead and put an 8 here. 8 times 4 is 32. Carry my 3. 8, 16, 17, 18, 19. Gets me 192. Subtract that, I'm going to have 2 left over. So I know that I can fill out 38 whole boxes with 2 pencils left over. So my answer choice has to be C here. My answer choice has to be C. All right, and then for problem number 4 here, we're looking at 6/8 minus 1/3. I'm going to have to find a common denominator to be able to do this. And so I can just do that cross multiplying trick. I know that both of these numbers can go into 24. So I'm going to do 6/8 times 3. And then 1/3 times 8. And 6 times 3 is going to give me 18 24ths. 1 times 8 is going to give me 8 24ths. And then I go ahead and subtract. 18 minus 8 is going to give me 10 24ths. And I know that that can be reduced down into by 2 here. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 24 divided by 2 is 12. 5/12 is my final answer, and that is going to be B there. 5/12, final answer B. All right, so folks, yesterday our password was 17 days. 17 days. That also means that we have 3.5 weeks. We are almost there, guys. That's including this week. 3.5 weeks, 3.5 weeks. Remember, 0.5 means 1/2. 3.5 weeks to rock this out. We are in the home stretch, and we can do this.